Anwar Ibrahim responded to several questions on the US trade agreement this morning. Meanwhile, the AGC has stated that Malaysia can terminate the agreement at any time. Stay tuned for this and more on Kini News. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim told the Dewan Rakyat that the government sought the Attorney General's Chamber's advice on the reciprocal trade agreement to ensure it did not conflict with the federal constitution. He said the AGC's input was crucial to ensure that the provisions in the agreement were consistent with the spirit of the federal constitution and domestic laws. He said this when asked whether the government would share the AGC's views on the trade deal with the cabinet. Anwar also responded to calls for his resignation over the trade agreement. Although he did not name anyone, the remarks came just a day after former Premier Dr. Mahathir Mohamad held a press conference over the matter.
Tapi di perdagangan ni oleh kerana disinggung, saya nak sebut di sini tentang apa isu yang hangat di sebelah sana. Itu tentang perjanjian perdagangan ini, ya. Kerana ini terkait dengan bukan saja dengan Malaysia, dengan ASEAN. Masih ada betul, negara China yang gergasi ekonomi baru ni pun masih berundi soal tarif dengan Amerika Syarikat. Kita tidak terkecuali. Ini soal menyerah, soal khianat, soal gadai, soal penjajahan baru ni. Iyalah, nak suruh turun sekali lagi pula. Saya berapa kali suruh turun, sudahlah.
In a statement earlier, the AGC stated that Malaysia has the right to terminate its reciprocal trade agreement with the US at any time through written notice without requiring Washington's consent. According to Bernama, the AGC said this is provided for under Article 7.5 of the deal. It also emphasized that all protections under the agreement are intended to defend and preserve Malaysia's sovereignty and protect the country's interests at all times. It said the agreement will only come into effect 60 days after both parties exchange written notifications confirming that their respective domestic legal procedures have been completed. The AGC added that the implementation of obligations and commitments under this agreement by Malaysia is subject to applicable Malaysian domestic laws and procedures. The deal also provides for good faith consultations between Malaysia and the US regarding implementation issues before either party can take action against the other. However, based on Article 7.1, Malaysia and the US as member countries of the World Trade Organization will continue to recognize the rights, obligations, and protections established under the WTO agreement for international trade. Malaysia and the US signed the deal on October 26 during the 47th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur. The agreement is a US proposal to renegotiate tariffs on Malaysia from 25% to 19%.
From now on, you can also listen to Kini News on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Police have reclassified the probe into the death of a Taiwanese influencer as murder investigation. In a statement today, Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Fadil Marsus announced the reclassification from a sudden death probe. He added that the investigations are ongoing under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. While the statement did not name the victim involved in the case, the matter is understood to be linked to the foreign influencer Shea Yu Shin. Shea was found dead at a hotel in Kuala Lumpur last month. According to media reports, controversial rapper Namewee, whose real name is Wee Ming Chi, had met up with Shea at the hotel to discuss a collaboration on October 22nd. Sinshu Daily reported that during the meeting, Shea had gone to take a shower but did not come out. Wee is said to have later found her dead in the hotel room's bathtub and called the emergency hotline at 12:30 p.m. Police later detained him after a search in his room found 9 pills suspected to be ecstasy. A urine test later determined that he was positive for amphetamines, meth, ketamine, and THC. The rapper was remanded for 2 days and subsequently charged with drug possession and use on October 24th. Wee claimed trial to the changes and is scheduled to appear in court again on December 18th. Ampang Bersatu has called for party president Muhyiddin Yassin's resignation. This came following the local division committee's decision to unanimously withdraw confidence in the party president's leadership. The division said Muhyiddin had failed to subdue an ongoing crisis brewing within Bersatu. Ampang Bersatu Secretary Daeng Muhammad Daeng Makati said that the decision was made during a committee meeting on October 28, following an open discussion about the party's direction and stability. Daeng Muhammad said that they had been aware of the party's significant internal upheaval, particularly involving the relationship between the party's Secretary General Azmin Ali and Information Chief Tun Faisal Ismail Aziz, with a large number of the party's divisional leaders nationwide. He added that the failure of the top leadership, especially the president, to address and advise the two leaders to strengthen internal party relations has led to increasingly severe fragmentation among the grassroots and division leadership. With this, he said Ampang Bersatu, with full responsibility and awareness, has decided to withdraw confidence in Muhyiddin's leadership as their party president. Daeng Muhammad also called for an orderly and inclusive leadership transition plan to ensure the party remains strong, especially ahead of the next general election. The International Federation of Association Football, or FIFA, has rejected the appeals of the Football Association of Malaysia and 7 heritage players who had been granted Malaysian citizenship. In a statement, FIFA said that after analyzing the submissions and conducting a hearing, the appeal committee decided to dismiss the appeals and to confirm in its entirety the sanctions imposed upon FAM and the 7 players. It added that FAM and the players have 10 days from today to request the grounds of their decision and 21 days for a possible appeal before the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS. Meanwhile, in a separate statement, FAM said it would take necessary measures to bring its case to the CAS. FAM said this is the first time it is facing such a situation and their lawyers and management are shocked by the decision. Nevertheless, FAM said it will steadfastly continue to champion the rights of players and Malaysia's interests in football at the international level. In September, FIFA imposed a fine of 350,000 Swiss francs on FAM, while the 7 players were each fined 2,000 Swiss francs. The players were also slapped with a 12-month suspension. According to FIFA, the 7 heritage players don't have any grandparents born in Malaysia as claimed. A justice march to protest authorities' perceived inaction in locating M. Indira Gandhi's missing daughter, Prasanna Diksa, is scheduled to take place on November 22nd. The march will be from the Sogo shopping complex to the Bukit Aman Police headquarters. The Indira Gandhi Action Team, in collaboration with Agamam Ani Malaysia, said that during the peaceful and lawful march, Indira will hand over a teddy bear which belonged to Prasanna to the police. In a statement, Arun Dorasamy said that Indira will be pushing Prasanna's stroller filled with her daughter's toys and clothes. He said this will be a silent yet powerful message that despite federal court orders, promises, and repeated assurances from the authorities, Prasanna remains unrepatriated and justice remains undelivered. He added that the march symbolizes the failure of enforcement, erosion of institutional accountability, and the silent suffering of countless parents denied justice due to bureaucratic inaction. Arun also said that fresh committal suit papers filed in the Ipoh High Court will also be served to Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail. The legal action, he said, targets the IGP's continued failure to enforce the federal court order to reunite Prasanna with her mother. The group invited all Malaysians to stand with Indira in the national call for justice, equality, and the rule of law. He also affirmed that an official notification will be made to Dang Wangi Police to facilitate traffic coordination and ensure the march remains peaceful, orderly, and in full compliance with the law. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.